Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is just another little bit in this sort of series of free talks teachings that I'm putting together and putting out. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Andean spirit beings and a little bit more about the cosmology of the Andean Quiero, or more the Andean traditions in general. So this is a little bit Quiero based, but also just Andean in general. Most of it's coming from what I've learnt via my teacher Joan Wilcox. And a little bit of it is more just, so she teaches from the Quiero and Cusco and traditions, and a little bit from a tradition that comes from sort of the Bolivian Lake Titicaca region. So that's mostly where these sort of teachings are coming from. So I just wanted to run through real quick. And I'm just putting this out for free because it's just interesting information for you to have if you're wanting to dive deeper into the Despacho or Mesa Misha or the deeper teachings that I'm going to be putting together. So it's just kind of good information to have, and it's just interesting. So I'm just going to run through some of the different spirit beings. So, we've got Pachamama, which is Mother Earth, sort of spirit of the entire universe, space, but Mother Earth. Then we have Mama Kila, which is Mother Moon, Tata Inti, which is Father Sun. Then we have the Apus, which are the sacred mountains. So not every mountain is an Apu. There's set mountains that are Apus. I believe there's 10 of them within sort of the Cusco type region. I'm not exactly sure how many there are in total, but yeah, they're certain sacred mountains that the Pacos work with and pilgrimage to and things like that. So I know there's two vital ones that they pilgrimage to. One that they hold a massive festival once a year. So that's a really key thing to the Pacos, is the relationship they have with the Apus. Then we have Wiracocha, who is the creator god in the Andean cosmology. Mama Colcha, which is the ocean and seas. Another key spirit being is Pachacuta Inca, who was the ninth sort of Inca ruler of Cusco, which he transformed into the Inca Empire. And Machu Picchu has a lot to do with him. It was built as an estate for Pachacuti, so he is really associated with Machu Picchu, and he's still a really key figure within the Andean tradition. Then Teskemuyu, universal waters, so not just the ocean, but also rivers, lakes, key water features like that, just the universal waters. Then we have sort of the estrellas, so the stars, which again the Andeans have really strong connection with the stars and see them as spirit beings. And as we go deeper into Andean teachings and becoming a sort of recognized Paco, or what I refer to myself as a Western Paco, you do pick up 8 helper spirits along the way, of different types. I'm not going to go into depth there, but yeah, just so you know, some Pacos will have those 8 helper spirits if they work within the certain lineages that I've come from. Particularly one lineage that Joanne teaches. So she kind of teaches 4 lineages that all come together, and I'm working on bringing that together as well as an entire teaching. And one of those has these 8 helper spirits that you pick up. Then we move on to, so they're sort of key, I guess, universal and elemental type spirits, nature spirits. Sort of forming the sky, the stars, physical aspects of nature, of the land, and then, you know, Pachamama, the entire universe, Earth. So they're sort of the key ones. Then we move on to sort of the animal spirits that the Andeans sort of use, and the 3 worlds. They work with animal spirits in a very different way, more similar to like the Lakota people and their medicine wheel. So very different to what sort of how shaman or shamanic practitioners work with animal spirits. So the lower world, which is the Uka Pacha, is represented by the snake. The Kai Pacha, which is the puma, which is us here, the middle world. And the upper world, the Hana Pacha, is the hummingbird, or sometimes the condor. So the serpent, or the it's called the amaru in Quechua, or anaconda, amaru. So it rises from the earth. Look, it has a lot to do with, again, one of the lineages that I've been taught, and it represents our personal power and is related to much, much deeper energy work that I'm not going to go into today because it's really, really deep energy work. But yeah, just keep that in mind, that the serpent, especially the amaru or anaconda in English, has a lot to do with really deep energy work, as well as just being associated with the lower worlds, the Ukapacha. And then the puma is the representation of the material world, Kai Pacha, so us here, and is mirrored in the geographical contours of the city Cusco, which is laid out sort of in the shape of a puma. And the sacred sites situated along the body of the puma, which represent its chumpis, which, again, I'm not going to fully explain, but they're kind of, I guess, energy points. But again, that's a lot. I will go into that a lot deeper with further teachings, but I'm just keeping this quite simple. So yeah, it's to do with us here, this physical world, as well as Cusco in particular. And then the hummingbird, which is seen as the sort of messenger of the metaphysical god, bridging the upper world and this world. And we communicate with spirits of the Hanapacha, of the upper world, sort of via the hummingbird, I guess. Who are, so the Hanapacha, who are beings of perfect Ani. Can never pronounce that one right. Australian accent, trying to pronounce Quechua. So we say crossing the hummingbird bridge. And look, I'm just going to also, I know that I've spoken about this in pretty much every Andean teaching I've put out, but the Kiero medicine wheel, so again, sort of the hummingbird is also associated with the north. The condor is associated with the east, according to this printout I have. I'm not exactly sure where this came from. I've been using it for years. I should probably track down and find who actually created it, so I know what lineage it's coming from or what tradition it's coming from. But I don't have that at the moment. Then the serpent is the south, and then the jaguar or puma is the west. and the llama is the middle center rainbow body. So they are kind of associated with, okay, so the hummingbird is associated with Viracocha, the creator spirit, also the wind and the air. The condor is associated with the father sun. And yeah, the Houghton Kunta, yeah, it gets a little bit confusing here. Then the serpent is Pachamama, related to the earth. The puma is associated with Mama Kila, the mother moon, and water. And the llama is, yeah, the rainbow body and kind of associated with the transformation of Pachakuta Inca. And yes, the hummingbird, as I said, creator, air, wind. Then we sort of have the upper world, above mountain spirits, father sky, grandmother moon, great spirit, and then the stars and things. Below earth mother, Pachamama, nature kingdoms, so stone people, plant people, animal people. Upper world, stone people, plant people, animal spirits, ancestors, and spirits of the highest level. Lower world, yeah, this lower world doesn't really check out, so I'm not going to go into that. And then just vaguely the Andean cosmology of the upper world, Hanapacha condor, middle world, Kaipacha puma, and lower world, Ukapacha serpent. So that's just a brief bit on the sort of key spirit beings that the Andeans work with, and just a little bit more about the cosmology in general. But not diving too deep, just keeping it quite simple. But just some foundational knowledge that could be interesting to you if you're wanting to dive deeper into the Despacho teaching, the Misa Mesha teaching, and the other more really in-depth series that I'm working on. Yeah, that's about all I have for today. Yeah, I'm beginning to say at the end of videos that I'm open for healings and things if you're seeking, you know, soul retrieval or different ritual ceremonies, healings and things. Yeah, just give me an email if you're looking for any of that sort of stuff. You know, I find it helps me, both just my personal life and also my teaching. When you're a teacher, you also have to keep up your personal practice, so you've got to balance those two. And being in a service to people, it just helps me in general. Yeah, so if you've got any questions, queries, or looking for healing or anything, don't be shy to reach out. Happy to have a chat and see what we can come up with and what you might need and what might be best suited to you in your personal circumstances, whatever that is. So yeah, that's about it for me today. There was no opening or closing of sacred space because this was just a sort of knowledge talk, no practice involved. Yeah, so have a great morning, day, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, and I will see you and talk to you again soon, hopefully. See ya.